Hey everybody, it's the DailyWEE! Ooh. And that's We Equal Energy. And my name is Binja. I'm the Body Whisperer, coming to you from a new location, actually a friend's place. He has some fun toys back here. I kind of like it. What did I want to talk to you about today? Sometimes I think about this, and it's something that I've kind of, finally come to terms with, or just don't care enough that I'm just going to do it. So if you look at life and you look at things and you look at people, I think you can learn a lot. I think you can learn a lot from from anyone, right? I have a certain skill set of things that I've looked at and focused on for most of my life, for the better part of 26, 27 years. That being like diet, fitness, routine, habit. When you kind of start looking at things and you're like, wow, what is it that I do, for probably good and bad, I develop habits quickly. I think it's been something that I just have, maybe it's in my makeup, whatever, but if I figure out a way of like setting up, and also I think it has to do with kind of the job that I've gone into, and then also the amount of changes that in a short period of time I can, I consider myself inconsistently consistent or something like that, or the most, I know that some people think like, because I have chats with people, I kind of feel like I'm the most boring, interesting man, that you're going to meet, in that sense of like, I feel boring, but at the same time, people are like, oh dude, you've done a lot of different things. And that is true. I'm not gonna argue with that. I've had a lot of different jobs. I've lived in a lot of different places in the world, and I've seen a lot of different things, right? So, when we do the Binja stuff, usually what I start off with and I ask people to think about is look at a couple, one, two big, they're bad, something that they would look at as maybe a bad habit, something that's not getting them where they want to go. Like, let's say they want to lose weight. So they look at, well, I come home or I, drink 3 beers at night, or I eat a lot of sugar, or I eat a lot of processed foods. I would blanket it with one thing and just say, okay, well, let's just, for the first week, let's just cut out all processed sugars, right? So if you do that and stick to that, at least 75%, let's say you give yourself a treat day just to kind of give that cravings kind of you have a goal to go toward, and you can break over that hump, you'll find that because of that, other things are going to start to shift. You make the mindset to sit, and say, okay, I'm going to not do this. And then you have to kind of think about, well, what does that change during the week? What does that mean? Do I have to, for me, one of the things that means is I have to start planning meals and prepping. And that's something I don't tend to like to do. Meal cooking and meal, like I like to keep, that's why I'll eat out of tin cans and stuff, is that I'm just lazy. I'm downright lazy when it comes to making meals and stuff like that. So that's one of the things that I do. So if you look at your day and look at your life and look at your patterns and what your typical thing is, what would be something, rather than adding anything, rather than saying I'm going to add working out or I'm going to add something, at least at the start, what could you drop for that first week? Maybe 1-2 things that then the next week you say, okay, now that I have dropped those, well, let's say I add a half hour of walking, okay? And the reason I go with a half hour of walking is because what you're doing is you're creating a habit of taking time for yourself. It's not about the walking, but at the same time, I think walking is amazing and I think it's great, and I do it. I work it into my daily routine. I work it into kind of my life. I walk to get a cup of coffee, then I always walk to work across the bridge, and I always walk back. So that process right there gives me, just in my daily routine, about 45 minutes of walking a day, which is great. So, but what if you're new to it and you haven't been working out, what that can do is that gives you that half hour time. And then as you start to do more and more and the weeks kind of go by, you start filling that with, well, you might walk 3 days a week and then you'll work out 4 days a week, or, another 3 days a week and take a day off, something like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Binge of the Body Whisperer here. If you have any questions, please subscribe. And if you have any questions, please ask. I love answering questions. So yeah, that's it. Keep moving, people. It's Binge of the Body Whisperer, and hope you have a good day.